Hi everyone. Hopefully you might not actually heard that. Hey Bumbles. Pull up the YouTube app. There we go. Hello everyone. Sorry B. Is Ruthie in here?
No.
Hi Nikia.
She made sure she got the spot first. Look at her.
That was a chain reaction.
Deep breath.
It's been one of those days. Penny jumped up there, was spooked B. Carter was making noise with this, was spooked Harley. My iPad is trying to do moderator actions on you guys.
Hi everybody.
Yeah, I could see how you can confuse her and Nakia.
Yeah, with the same attitudes too.
They're redheads. Hey, beep,
What are you saying about redheads, dear?
Feisty.
Hi, pretty girly. We'll do we'll show off Harley's clicker training in a bit.
She learned a new trick.
A couple of them. Eddie's in the bedroom. Julian's in the living room. Dorian had a full day, so he's downstairs recovering. And
she's getting so long.
Let's see. Ruthie's probably downstairs in the office.
Hey, Kimberly. Simba's dad, Kirby. Hey, Kirby. Some of you whose names I can't pronounce. No offense.
The pretty girly. Are you still pretty girl?
Harley's tail is getting long too.
Harley's is just long in general.
She's still the sweetest so around. I had a job interview today. I'll talk about that in a bit.
Dorian made a trip to the vet today. That's why he had a long day.
And related to that, she had a long day because of it.
Yeah, I went to the doctor as well, and I got up early or on time, really. It was much earlier than my normal time. So I woke up with conjunctivitis today. And so I asked the husband, should I go to the doctor? You're fine.
Wait a day, see if it gets better.
And I'm like, it's highly contagious, right? And he's like, it is. So anyway, I did that, and I just got eye drops and met the doctor. It's just, that's
a whole another story.
So anyway, so I did that, and then we go to Mercer Island, which is about 35 to 40 minutes with good traffic from here. And so I had to also pick up some keys at houses. So Dorian and I went down. My dad was having his interview. And we were going because back in December, we got a very stern talking to that he had to lose weight. He shouldn't be eating dry food. And we had to reduce the steroids because he was basically borderline, if not diabetic. So we got serious, and he went to twice a day canned food, very, very little dry food, and we reduced his steroid to the point that he was still comfortable. And so we were just going to do a recheck today, and the good news is he's lost a pound, and he is now, his numbers were like anywhere from like 259 to 300 one of the visits for his blood glucose, and then today it was 125, so that was excellent. And then he's like, yeah, so we had a bunch of teeth removed in November from him. And so he's like, yeah, where we removed all the teeth, there's now like this growth that's there, and it's like flapping, and it's really bizarre looking.
It's not a new tooth.
Yeah, and so he's like, I'm really concerned about it. I think it needs to come out. So we've now made an appointment for March 3rd for Dorian to have his flapping
Flapper removed.
growth removed, and then that afternoon Libby will get a recheck. She has a weird growth on her nose, and she's also throwing up. And Penny's gonna go for her annual exam. So
now when you're evaluating your pros and cons about adopting another kitty, you know this is a con here. You know, lots of cats means lots of vet visits, means lots of money out.
yeah, I keep, everyone says pink eye. I keep saying it's conjunctivitis.
She doesn't like the word pink eye. I called it that too, and she's like, no.
No, I know
conjunctivitis sounds better.
I know it is.
It's harder to say though.
So yeah, I did go to my vet. That's what I usually call it. Yeah, it would be nice if we had a vet that like lived next door and be like, hey, come on over. We'd be like, we'd go over here like 40 times a day. Hey, so they just did this. What do you think? What could that mean? Anyway, so of course, like it's like, oh, we're having a job change, and it's like, because Dr. Marshall doesn't typically like to put cats under, and he's usually a wait and see kind of guy. When he says I'm concerned and it needs to come out, I usually believe him, because there's been many times with Eddie. Eddie had some weird growths. Okay, can we get a toy? A lawn chair of it?
Sorry.
Oh, the speak of the queen of the house is arrived.
Here's Ruthie walking in.
So when he says something has to come out, it has to come out, because I like, for Eddie and I, there was times where he had these weird growths, and we waited months, if not 6 months, and he was like, I'm not concerned about it right now. I'm not concerned. And I was like, you sure? So money or no money, I'm like, we're gonna make it happen.
You see that?
Yeah, she hissed.
She like looked over, hissed, like, I'm out of here. I don't think she liked the paper and didn't like her bouncing around
paper.
too. Well,
her spot was taken, Nikki.
Yeah.
Took her spot. She'll be back. She is the queen of the house. So, yeah, that's what we got going on.
Nikki and Ruthie have a hate-hate relationship, Cold War style.
Yeah, but they spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
They're pretty much always in the same room. They sleep in the same room. Oh, Penny, good for you.
Penny's like, none of that passive aggressive stuff. I'll show you aggressive.
Slapped her and hissed at her.
Slapped at her butt and then backed off.
But she hissed at her.
She escalated and then de-escalated.
Penny is the officer of the house. You good girl. And she doesn't
like,
normally.
Whoa, okay, I'm out of here.
She turned around and licked where she got slapped. Whoa.
Slapped that butt.
That is not. Penny was very
Penny
serious.
has a very long fuse.
Yes.
You know, it's like, but once you cross it.
Whoa, I've never seen her do that. Like, she got mad at me. That's funny.
And see how much of that was visible.
Isn't Dorian's Chris's cat? Yeah. That is.
Yeah, he's full time now.
Yeah, I mean, so the big joke around for John and I is that.
All I saw was her just suddenly moved.
Yeah, is that now, as of the 15th, Chris is the only one with a full-time job in the house. That's now our joke.
Speaking of that, the interview today was a long one. It went really well. This is like the fourth interview I've had, and the first one was the first one in 20 years that I've had, really. But the first one was just a hot mess. This one was pretty good. I started to get a little flustered because my mouth was drying out and I didn't want to be like constantly drinking.
And there was a cat left in the room.
And yeah, it's like once things calmed down inside, I could feel myself getting flushed. Oh, I got over that real quick, and there was just rapid firing tech questions at me. If I wanted to do this, how would I go about it? Do you know what function does this? And then all of a sudden I heard like scritch, scritch, scritch at the door behind me, and I was like, Eddie's up.
So what happened was he kicked Penny and Harley out earlier today because they were too rowdy. And I did say before I left, oh, you're going to leave Eddie in here? Oh, yeah, he just sleeps. It will be fine.
And all of a sudden I hear like a scritching I didn't recognize, and I looked over real quick, and he's walking on the bookcase shelf, and his claws were scraping. And then I can hear him occasionally moving around. I can hear him moving around the room. I was tracking him while I was talking. And next thing you know, he's up on the desk, about ready to walk right in front of the webcam. So I was like, excuse me one moment. My cat's demanding to be let out.
Did you really say that?
Yep. And I picked him up, and they could see him on the cam briefly as I took him out the door. I don't know if they laughed or anything. I wasn't watching, but they had a straight face when I came back. Hopefully they weren't dog people. I mean, there was a cat tower in view, so.
There was 2 cat towers in view. Funny.
But it's like after one of the guys, I think it was an Oracle developer and Code Fusion developer, whoever was supposed to be there from the hiring agency didn't show up. So I was just speaking with the end client, and I was able to answer. I couldn't answer Oracle specific questions because it's been 10 years since I dealt with that. But a lot of databases have similar concepts, so I was able to answer quite a bit of them. He had to leave after an hour, and I ended up talking to the guy that was left, and he was telling me about things that they're hiring for, what they need to have done, where they're going with this, and he described a bit of the application itself, and he seemed like he enjoyed talking with me.
Well, and then last Friday you had an interview too with the lady, the lady that recruited for that specific company.
Mm-hmm.
And tell them about that.
Well, that was actually a different one. The lady was for a different company. It was a guy from a different hiring agency.
I'm talking about last Friday.
Yeah, that's a different one.
I know.
Okay.
You haven't shared with them the 2 updated.
Oh, okay. I figured.
We're not communicating well.
Yeah. Well, I thought she was still talking about the job I was just talking about.
No, you had another interview, is what I said, last Friday, with a lady that recruits for her job.
And she asked me a couple of tech questions, and then she emailed me. She liked my answers, so she emailed me a technical review where it's just explain the differences between different database functions, or what's the best way, if I have a table with 2 million rows, what's the best way to speed that up? And I gave several different answers. And she did tell me that the guy who will be reviewing that likes to get multiple solutions. And one of the answers was, here's a form, duplicate it exactly. I did it 3 different ways, and one of the ways that directly helped tonight in the review, talking about div tables, if you're familiar with or div blocks, if you're familiar with HTML.
And then you used the critter room as data for your.
Yeah, for that one. It's like, create a JavaScript list or array and then loop over it. Now create a JavaScript object and loop over that, and I took all the fostering data that I broadcasted live, and the theme name, the mama cat, if any, the name of the kittens, and in JavaScript wrote a report that basically displayed all the information about it. And I had logic in there like only put s, like kittens, only use an s if there's more than one kitten. And, proper plural singular syntax. If there was no kittens, I put foster instead of mom. I haven't heard back from them yet, but.
Yeah, but it hasn't been a full week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about hiring. it can take, like, you can not hear from someone for 2 weeks and then all of a sudden be like, oh, okay, let's have our second interview 2 weeks later. Because they're interviewing other people and they're also, but that's why I always like to get, when I'm finishing, what's the next steps and when will I hear from you next?
Yeah, and that ended up with them talking about getting together with the other people, and then
Yeah, let's say last Friday was company A. Today was
yeah,
company B.
The end of the day was like talking about getting together with other people at the company and see what the next steps are.
And the company B would be for a contract to hire.
Yeah, that's how I got my job at AT&T. It's actually a smart method because basically you're trying out the employee with no commitment.
Are you growling? Yes, I am.
Nikia's like, yeah, don't you growl at my little sister.
Well, and you really like doing Company A's 15 questions because you spent all weekend doing them and getting prepared. So that's exciting.
Well, the stories about the mods hand calculating the numbers of Fosters was counting the same thing. I looked at the Kitten Cam fact, which in the past I didn't do. So
why are you upsetting everybody?
And I think that was also including the entire number of Fosters, including 3 Cam. This was strictly Cam, just copying data out of the Kitten Cam fact.
So you'll have interviews. So any new jobs that you've applied for?
Not today. I still need to go over, see if there's any new ones today.
Oh, that's a good point, Kimberly. Now that I think about it, you and I have talked about this, John, sending thank you. So today, you should really send thank you notes. Do you have their contact information?
I have I don't have
the 2 people you talked to today.
I don't have their contact.
Well,
I do have the contact of the recruiter.
Yeah, so I mean, and everyone could probably give feedback on this, but I would contact the recruiter and say, I had a wonderful conversation, whatever you want to say. You're not going to speak like I do, but I had a wonderful conversation with so-and-so and so-and-so. I don't know, you guys give feedback on what he should say. I look forward to hearing from them. Can you please pass on my thank you for their time? But I think, and then you know what? And then you also, next Monday, you should add that to your coaching question, coaching list of ask her. Do they have pre-templates for sending thank yous? Yeah, that's a really good point, Kimberly. I'm sad that I forgot to mention that last week because did you send a thank you? Did.
I did.
You did with your thing, yeah.
Because she specifically asked me to reply once I've completed the test, and I thanked her at the same time. Then I included a thank you in the test itself.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed these questions and the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I wish that there was someone who could provide a checklist of here's like step 1, like apply, step 2, whatever, and then interview and send thank you note. Like, it'd be nice to have all of that. Yeah, Ruthie's behind me. She's upset because she doesn't have the high ground right now. Yes, Harley is Joanne growing like our priority pets services like a weed. She's super long.
Sure.
Yeah. Did I say Harley?
I don't know. I think I might have said hurry. I might have heard wrong.
Touching base to see where they're. Oh, and then touching base to see. So that's another good thing. So like the lady that you haven't heard from yet, maybe next Monday you email her and say, hey, just want to touch base, want to see where we're at. Right? Is that what you're suggesting, Kimberly? Like, always send thank you emails to everyone in the interview. At least you don't have to do it handwritten notes nowadays. Yep, that's true. Nice letters to the powers that be on something you want to work on. I got an appointment once that way. That's awesome. Nikia, will you let Lucy get up there?
I'll check the email to see if there's more than one person on the invite.
And then show that you're interested in the job. Like actually saying that. I think it would be great if the career coaching people could actually give you like a template. We love the black and white cat too. Yeah, touching base. That's awesome.
It's just.
Oh, and remind them who you are. Piano girl, how would you do that?
I'm the guy with the cat demanding to be let out of the room.
No. First, thank you, and then so Kimberly says yes. First, send a thank you, and then a few days later, hey, where are you at with things? Yes, you show you're interested in both the thank you email and the touching base email. Yes, remind them who you are.
They can't quite see Penny, but it looks like she's sulking.
Penny, what are you doing?
It's like staring at the wall. Who's underneath her?
Ruthie. What are you doing? It would be easy to, with the critter room example. Oh, that's a great idea, Catherine. Like, so she's saying it would be easy to follow up with a critter room because you have to remind them who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you would, whatever that you name the table. And any opportunity to let them know about the projects that you've worked on independently. So taking initiative.
Look at that. She goes from the end all the way to the more than halfway down the tube.
Yeah, I don't think they can see it, can they?
No, they can't.
Yeah, it's like I feel like the whole interviewing process is like an art, and you have to like really know and remember these things. And it's great because John's had 4 of these now, and I feel like this one he was like the most comfortable with doing. So it's all about getting experience and copying and pasting and showing who you are.
Yeah, it's like, plus I'm just resolved to moving forward. You know, IBM doesn't want me, so I'll find somebody who does.
Oh, happy birthday, Anna Mama. Anna Mimi Mama. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that right.
It's no fault of mine that IBM doesn't want me. It's that they're reducing their staff and their financial output and towards developers.
Ruthie? Oh, yes,
like now that they're working on cross-training developers between applications. And yeah, anyone who's a developer knows that doesn't work. Because they don't have enough developers on a given application.
Do we have a laser pointer for the kitties? We do.
It's right there. I'm not sure how well it's charged.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if it is charged. I'm going to get the here. Show off. Hey, you want to come say hi?
Ruthie really likes the laser pen, but she's a little bit hesitant to dash around with Nakia here. What are you doing, Hardy? Uh-oh. It's clicker time.
No, not ready yet, silly.
Yeah, it's like anxiety can really mess up my intestinal tract, and like it was all kinds of messed up for that first interview, like the day before. Today I had no problem, so that's definitely a welcomed improvement.
Don't touch her tail. You gonna stand up? Sister, relax. He's like, they are too close. It's my inside my bubble. I have a 5-foot bubble. Oh.
Yeah.
Touch.
If I had a video conference where they did a good cop, bad cop thing on me, I was like, I'm sorry, we're not a good fit. Hopefully that was a
Pretty
short interview. One thing I've learned talking to Jess, my job coach, is that it's okay to end the interview. If you know it's not going to work out,
Kiss.
politely say,
Paw.
that's it.
Oh my
It's
god,
not
they
gonna be a
can't
good
see her,
fit.
can they?
No point in continuing. No, you don't want to say no point in continuing this, but you want to think it.
Let me see. Oh, come here. Sit.
Yeah, I can see why they might do a good cop, bad cop to see how well you would handle hostility and pressure. But the fact is, if they have a job that has that,
Oh, look,
it's
did
not
you
a
see
place
her
you want to
kiss?
work at, too. So,
Oh.
show me again.
I don't think she'll do it once you do that. Oh. No, what happened? Oh, something stuck in your teeth?
She's still working on that last kibble. Okay, she's like, I'm ready to do the touch.
Oh.
There's treat motivated, and then there's Harley.
Kiss.
She's starting to be preemptive with him.
Isn't that cute? Ready? Look pretty. Penny knows a little quicker training too.
Let me turn the cam just a little bit. This wall, more cats.
Give me a kiss. Kiss. Harley. Harley. Sit. Okay. Up. Oh. I have to alternate, otherwise Ruthie gets upset. Touch. Oops, that was supposed to be paw. Be nice about it.
One thing that plays in my factor is that with sometimes with being an introvert, that most programmers are introverts and they understand that.
Kiss.
And I actually had programmers interviewing me. It wasn't a hiring manager or anything like that. It's people that I'm probably actually working with or for.
And he's like, how come I haven't been getting mine? I do pick. She's so funny. Penny knows paw. Paw.
I did the Cold Fusion developer. I made him smile because he was remembering the problem he had. Because he asked me what methods I would use to loop over a query object or a result set. And I told him the way I would prefer to do, and I gave another way of doing it. But I had problems in the past because implies he's like, oh yeah, I had it happen back on Cold Fusion 7.
All done. No, we're all done, Penny.
So he smiled and then went on.
You're leaving? I have a spot for you up here if you want it.
Ooh, look at that fuzzy belly. Except for the naked belly. Naked belly Morat. She likes to over groom herself sometimes. She's got a chicken allergy.
And she gets chicken.
And if she eats Eddie's food, it affects it.
No more. We're all done. Food is so good.
Harley's still the sweetest soul around. She gets along with everybody still. Like when I was setting up the this video chat, she was up on my desk following the mouse pointer around, going like this to the screen, trying to catch it. Yep, she just ambushed Nakia. I'm just catching up on the chat. How many cats do we have? We have 9 cats. And that also comes with a disclaimer that we're both cat people. We have a big house, 2 floors, lots of room,
He feels
lots
like
of
he has
tower.
to do the
You
disclaimer.
know, a lot of people like, if there's more than 4, they're like, what? 9's a good number for us.
Yeah, Julie, about the questions. I've talked to John about that. Always having I always like when I interview people that they ask me questions. They don't just sit there and say
Yeah, I had some questions to ask, um, and I was about to ask him. Then he went over just like what kind of stuff what are you hiring for? And he started going into that detail, and I was like, oh, good. I was about to ask that. Don't bring your mother to an interview. Duly noted. Can't believe you had that happen. 2 cats is good. If you live in an apartment, pretty much you're most likely limited to 2 cats. There are a rare exception, but you can bring your cat to an interview, but just keep in mind what you're interviewing for. Like, for example, if you are interviewing at a dog only shelter, not a good idea. If you're interviewing pretty much anything, not a good idea. But if the cat's good on a leash and a harness, and so no, it's not a good idea. What you do is you interview them the next day when they're leaving for lunch. This is like after COVID and stuff like that. Just be casually walking your cat down the street in front of the building and go, "Oh, hi, this is my cat." No, don't do that either.
someone brought their mom to the interview and you guys had her sit outside. That's awesome. Where's Nikia? Nikia, what you doing over there? Oh, is your coffee empty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's everyone's craziest interview experience? Whether you were the interviewer or the interviewee.
Might work if you're interviewing for Chewy.com. Yeah. Yeah, don't bring your parrot if they like to repeat everything that they hear. So what can you do for us? What can you do for us? No, I asked you. I asked you.
Oh my god, the mom wanted to be in the actual interview. Player with cats and a golden. The candidate washed out when she picked up. Oh, oh my god, that's funny. The candidate washed out when she picked off fur off of her clothes.
Priority Pet Services. Interesting.
Oh, that's John Ann's.
Oh.
And that's the name of her company. Hi, Nikia.
So she picked the executive director's dog's fur off her clothing. Yeah, that's not a good. It's like, yeah, that's your dog's fur. I'm gonna wear this with pride. I got your golden fur. I love Goldens. They're the best dogs ever.
It's all good, John Ann. Penny's digging around in the drawer, and Harley's watching very intently. She watches everything that Penny does. Nope, it's too late.
Yep. I was going to turn the cam, but they're like, Dale, quick, it's the coppers. They're on to us.
I'm trying to. I know I've had some crazy interviews. But I don't remember. I'm not
You
very
interview
good.
with a lot of people, so.
Yeah, I do interview a lot of people, but I don't really. Like I used to interview a ton for Marriott, and then for my job, my business, I interview. Oh, I know one I recently had.
Hopefully she's not watching.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I was thinking that too, as I was saying. So we were on Zoom because it was during COVID, and I was trying to get understanding, and it was in their kitchen, which is, it's, first of all, it's a pet sitting job, so I'm not like, doesn't have to be very like, I'm not judging her when I say this. Is what my point is that it's a very lax environment. But her kids kept walking through the kitchen, and she'd be having conversations with them as I was doing the interview. So I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. It's what life is right now. And then all of a sudden, her daughter comes in and starts yelling from the slider, and she's like, I don't remember what it was, but she's like, oh my God, my dog just escaped from the yard. I have to go. I have to go find him. And it was just like, it was very weird. But whatever. I would be like, I gotta go too. It wasn't weird that she had to get off the phone to go find her dog. That's not what I'm saying. It was weird, like, how she was saying it back to me and how the daughter, but whatever. I was like, okay, just go handle you. And it was one of those interviews that I literally couldn't get a word in edgewise, and I had to keep interrupting her and keeping her on track. We were already 45 minutes into it, and I could barely get a question in, right? It was one of those. And so at that point, I was like, I don't think it would be a good fit because, my personality and her personality probably would not match. So I was like, take your time, just let me know what happens. And she's like, I'm so embarrassed. This is crazy. Fine, whatever. And then 20 minutes later, she's like, the dog was in the house the entire time. She was in a room, and they all thought she was out with the gate open. So they spent 20 minutes like running up and down the street looking for the dog, and the dog was sleeping in the room, is what she told me. And then we got back on the phone on Zoom. Anyway, I always leave it like with people like, okay, think about the job and then get back to me in by X day of what you think. And when we were getting off the phone, she's like, I really want this job. I so want it, blah, 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 blah. And I never heard back from her. Like, she never contacted me. I contacted her saying, hey, I just want to make sure we didn't have a miscommunication. I didn't get an email from you. I guess it's not a fit. I wish you the best of luck. Still never heard from her again. It was weird. But she was telling me about her vacations of where she had been. And that's great. But, like, I literally couldn't get a question in edgewise. And she's like, I read the room. I always know. And I kept interrupting her. She still
This is probably why you wouldn't get along. Because I'm trying to get 2 words in edgewise.
I wasn't finished telling my story here.
That's Ruth. Yeah, that's Ruthie up there. Earlier it was Nakia. It's hard to tell which one's up there because she's turned away. I'm just teasing you, love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she's not going to hand me any ice cream later, that's for sure.
So John's obsessed with ice cream, and so I did the grocery shopping this week, and I knew he was out of ice cream, and he likes Ben and Jerry's. So I got the one that he likes, and it was on sale, like 2 for $9, which is pretty cheap for Ben and Jerry's. And so I got another one. I was going to get his strawberry cheesecake because I know that is another one of his favorites. But then I found Chubby Hubby. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get this one.
Yeah, I was like, she asked me to put away the groceries, and I opened it up and I saw the ice cream. I'm like, yay! I took it out. And that's literally my reaction. I took it out and saw Chubby Hubby. I'm like, you trying to tell me something here?
Well, yeah. Remember last week I was telling you how he had a dessert for lunch? He then went ahead that evening and had half a container of honey nut ice cream.
She says that like it's a bad thing.
So Chubby Hubby, I like the ice cream part. I don't like the chunks, but something scared her.
Large pretzel chunks.
So it's vanilla malt ice cream with chocolate peanut butter swirl with chunks of crackers wrapped in peanut butter and chocolate. Yeah, Hurley's probably the easiest to tell out of the bunch, right? She's very clearly visible. Like, well, I guess you can't move the camera up. Ruthie loves to hang out in here as long as she can be in her own space, which means on the tower.
Usually the highest spot in the room.
Yeah, or in a corner watching from afar.
Nakia also likes those spots.
No, Nakia likes to go in any spots that Ruthie has been in.
Like, I'm going to put my butt stamp on her spots.
Right. Nakia has become kind of attached to me, and then Eddie's now hanging out with Dad in the office.
Mostly hanging out in that bed.
I'm not a big fan of Ben and Jerry's. I mean, obviously I'll eat it. There's the one that that is in there that I like. That has the peanut butter cups in it. I don't know the name of that one.
Yeah.
I like mine's Baskin Robbins Oreo. Who's a good girlie? A good girlie. Don't go after Ruthie. She doesn't want to be bothered.
Unless it's this.
Look at her giggle. I know you mean she looks so cute on the tree. John Ann. It is your niece after all.
You can barely make her out, but Penny is behind the flag underneath the bench.
Coming in with a wide load.
Yep, here's Trillian.
She says, I was sleeping, do you mind?
She's just a couple months away from her annual shave. As soon as it warms up.
She loves that scratcher.
She won the presidential poll, so she's sitting in her rightful spot. I think Haagen-Dazs sells Moose Tracks, which is just peanut butter, small peanut butter cups, and vanilla ice cream, which is very good. I like Ben and Jerry's because they don't go cheap on the cream, and therefore it's not as likely to mess me up with my lactose intolerance. I think Jess is grabbing Dorian or one of the other cats. Apparently just zoomed through the tower or the tube, pushed up against the wall. Do you see ice cream talk? You do see ice cream talk. You hear ice cream talk too. Yeah, Ben & Jerry's makes several different flavors that I really like. Ooh, that's a big stretch. No judgment. I know every single one of you that if you've owned a cat has at one point in your life sniffed their butt, so no judgment. Up is Dorian.
Penny was like, Mom's leaving, gotta go. Here she comes. They can't really see. Well, I guess they can see me.
Well, last month or so, Dorian had several teeth removed, his incisors,
Yep.
sizers.
In November.
Yeah, that's okay, November, or so. But one of the extraction points that now has some sort of growth on it, so they'd be going back next month to get that removed.
Libby's doing okay. She
He's not growing.
no. So Libby's confusing right now. She was throwing up a ton, and then like a ton last week. So then we were giving her Serenia. The doctor said to give her a half a Serenia every night for a couple of days to see if it helps. And literally, we could time it. 15 minutes after we gave her the Serenia, she was puking. So we did that for 2 nights in a row, and then we said, no, we're not giving her any more. And she hasn't puked since Saturday. So she's going to go in on March 3rd to she has a bump on her nose, and then also to see if we need to do more tests on the throw up. So right now she's doing good. I'm trying to spend at least an hour a day, like just her and I. Sounds like a big deal, but
I think Dorian is 16 years old.
I thought you said 17.
16 or 17. And like every other vet that sees him, he's just the sweetest so and so around.
Yeah, so today, Dr. Murdoch, it was supposed to be a really quick, like, just check his blood glucose, and that didn't turn out. And so he gets on the phone and he's like, well, he's making me work too hard. I was like, oh, no. I was like, he's supposed to be fine. So apparently he would be sitting there, like, purring up a storm and just happy as can be, loving all over Dr. Marshall. And then if Dr. Marshall touched his butt area or his tummy, like here, he'd start growling at him.
That's very unusual for him.
Yeah, and
he's still purring right here.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That's like, is his hands cold?
So we talked about it. He's like, do you touch his belly? And I was like, we touch it all the time, and he doesn't growl at us. But it is looking a little scabby here. Because remember in the spring we had his. Anyway, and he wasn't really able to look at his anal glands because he was getting growly. So he would like put hands off, and then he would start purring again within seconds. He would relax. But if you touched him down in this area, he would get upset. So when he gets anesthetized, we'll have to look at it more. It's weird.
Someone out in the hallway.
Right here. Penny? Nope, Penny's right there. Penny's right here.
I know, but I heard a noise out there, and the cats looked out there.
Penny?
He was in here earlier, but she took off. She hissed at Penny, and Penny, long fuse Penny, burned down. She like swatted B on the butt, and he was like, "Whoa!" and walked off.
I buy him dinner, the vet doesn't. Ghosties. Oh, we shouldn't talk about cake and ice cream. I love it. We made the other night. I wanted something like cake-ish, so we had this muffins, pan muffins. You just put in eggs, milk. No, you put eggs, water, and oil in it. I forgot the water, and I couldn't understand why it was looking funny. And John's like, "Where's the water?" I was like, "Oops." Anyway, John was so insulted by these muffins.
It's like it was so much artificial that the artificial flavoring had artificial ingredients. And it's like, I'm 50 now. I have a right to be occasionally grumpy for no good reason.
But he still continued to eat.
Oh, hell yeah.
But he was just like, and like, he went on for a while.
I remember in the past that I've had blueberry muffins, and there was literally nothing anywhere close to blueberries in them. But there was something about it that was like, this is really good. And it shouldn't have been. It's like it defied it broke some sort of logic into my brain or something. It's like where you're walking along and you feel the hair in the back of your neck, rise, and it feels like somebody's watching, but you don't see anybody watching you except for food. It probably made no sense, but it just was weird.
Jiffy Mix blueberry muffins. I don't know what those are, but that's probably exact. Oh, look at Penny. Look at Charlie's out.
Charlie's been out. Charlie's her tongue. Charlie's.
Can you see her?
She constantly
you can see
sticks
her.
out her tongue just a little bit.
Oh, jeez. What?
Yep.
Oh my God, Penny is the cutest thing ever.
So,
Oh, cornbread. I like that.
so
I didn't know Jiffy made that stuff.
evidently, there's a way of going full screen in the YouTube app on the iPad without pushing the full screen button. Because Dorian just did it. I can't figure out how. Oh, there he goes. Pinch out.
Oh, give kisses. Wow. She's like, she touched me. I'm gonna miss smack you. Where's Dorian think he's going? He's going to the bathroom. Okay, Penny, you can stay there, Penny.
Look at that copter. Helicopter tail. Chilicopter. Trillian is 6 years old. Coming up on 7. I think April or June. I know that Trillian B and Nakia have their birthdays like one right after the other for 3 days. Trillian in the middle. Yeah, you have to excuse Nightbot. Nightbot thinks that you can't tell that. Tell Nightbot to only talk on this event, not that event. He set up to send us a message. Please enjoy these highlight reels once an hour. If there's like 10 messages, somebody talking. And that happened right at 8 o'clock. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut short pretty soon. It's gonna be a short chat this week. Jess still has a lot of work to do, and
I had to trick her.
oh, here's Libby.
I had to trick her. She's not gonna be happy.
Oh, hopefully B doesn't see. Oh, she's growling. Here's our second cow kitty, our first cow kitty, actually.
She said, I told you she wasn't gonna be happy.
Carly wants to play. Uh-oh.
Penny's concerned.
If there's any scuffles between cats, Penny's right there to try to break it up.
She's really growling. No, Dad. She's like, oh, no. I sat on the couch and she's like, yay, couch time. And then,
You picked her up.
yep.
Thank you. But, you know, the best wishes on the job hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I think this interview went really well. And I mentioned this earlier, but
Good night, Johnny.
this is the same way I got the job at AT&T, contract to hire. Hello, Miss Blue Eyes.
No, next week is the Lunar New Year's.
Oh, here's Nakia. It's 8 o'clock. Okay. Okay, everybody can see you. We got those two. We got the Harley. Harley
There's
gets
Libby.
along with everybody.
Libby, who's a pretty girlie?
Libby likes to sneak around upstairs. She navigates the whole place, and we normally don't even know she's up there. We'll be like reviewing the cam footage of the house, and we see like, oh look, there's Libby. You know, walking right past us as we're watching TV.
Yeah,
we
she
don't
likes
even
to.
notice.
Yeah, we don't even notice. Jesus.
We usually only notice if Beatrice sees her, because Beatrice is like, get back downstairs, and then we're trying to figure out what happened.
You're so pretty.
Ruthie's
She's
still
got.
up there.
She's got the look at her whiskers here. Take up the whole.
Whole width.
Yeah, look at that. I wanted everyone to see everybody. The only one we didn't bring in is Eddie. Eddie's sleeping in the bedroom. I can bring him in. Go get him.
We'll bring in Eddie, and then we're going to close up. Yeah, one thing I learned about this is like set up a LinkedIn profile, invite everybody, connect with it, everybody you know, doesn't matter how long ago you knew them, try to connect up with them, follow jobs or companies that you're applying to, because sometimes they'll go out and see if you're actually following them. Or it's nice when they pull up your LinkedIn profile that they see that you're following their company.
He's getting a little unsteady.
Eddie's an old guy.
Uh-oh. Dad, I want to be petted. Ooh. He's becoming very attached to Daddy. So you guys have big plans for the Super Bowl? Oh, you're the ox. Yeah, right, Ghosties? Did you see what she said?
Oh, I fully plan on having as many irons as I can in the fire.
What are you
during
doing,
this
Chili
job
Bug?
hunt. She's playing with the ball and
I think she's playing with the
ribbon.
yeah. Oh, you're watching the Kitten Bowl. That's right. There's a Kitten Bowl. Look right behind you, dear. You move over a little bit. Oh, she's getting down.
I caught her. Yeah, Chris is excited about the Super Bowl because he normally works around the time when or actually in past years, he's worked on Sunday and he missed the Super Bowl. So this, with his new schedule, this is the first time he's been able to actually watch it at home. Sucks that the Seahawks aren't in it, but it is what it is.
Eddie has magic for you.
Eddie needs all his own magic. Eddie Fur, she calls magic.
He gives gifts too.
He's a familiar. Comes with his own magic.
Where is the Super Bowl this year? I don't even know anything about the Super Bowl.
Ever since the Hawks lost their final game, I haven't been really following.
Oh, awesome. That's a nice day. That's what I'm saying. If I do anything for the Super Bowl, it's going to be all about the food.
For me, it'd be all about the commercials, unless it's a really close game.
Well, did you see Budweiser's not doing any commercials this year?
Mm-hmm.
They're spending all of that money that they would have gotten on vaccination education, I think is what it is.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, they're playing in Florida. Okay. Martha Stewart is hosting the Puppy Bowl. Weird. I guess she's a big dog person.
She has a big pet line too.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I didn't know Coca-Cola wasn't either. Okay. Kimberly, maybe you can educate me a little bit more because I don't know the specifics about either one of them.
The one problem about watching the Super Bowl for the commercials is now everybody's airing the commercials before the Super Bowl. It's like, no point to even watch the Super Bowl anymore.
Good luck, cow kitty.
Unless you're vested.
I probably won't watch. Well, I have a 5 o'clock Zoom meeting for my class on Sunday, so. But I, I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, but I can't help but like be super uber impressed that he was able to go to the Super Bowl on a first year with his new team. I can't help it. Oh my God, Snoop Dogg is hosting it too. Oh, okay, I didn't realize several. What I am excited for is Amanda Gordon, or wow, I'm sorry, I'm not saying her name. Amanda Gorskin.
Oh, halftime. She's reading her poem.
Is it halftime or beforehand? I don't know.
I think it's during the halftime show. She's reading the poem that she read at the inauguration.
No, I think she's doing a new one. My understanding was she's doing a new one.
Hmm.
I don't know. Anyone know? Who's already growing? You started to grow. You hanging out with the family? You just hanging out.
Ms. Zazzle thinks it was pregame as well.
Yeah, I thought it was pregame.
Hey, Penny.
But I thought it was something different, but I don't know. I would imagine it was something different. I mean, she's gotten so many. Well, we've already talked about that.
Penny did a half hop out of there. She just like hopped with her front paws, but she was still sitting. Then she walked out.
She's so stinking cute. Penny's the cutest of them all. Look, Charlie's still out. You can't see it though.
Yep, because there's enough people saying pregame.
A new poem. Yep. Okay, a new poem. And I think it was before the game. I thought, and I don't know if it's is it pre-recorded? I am on her Instagram. Don't bother her tail, please.
Magic.
Thank you, Eddie. Share with Dad.
Whip it back in.
Don't bug. Harley
Zazzle just checked Amanda's pregame.
Okay. So
How do you watch the Kitty Bowl? Actually, I don't know.
I think it's on Lifetime or Homework.
It's on one of the. I think Homework.
New poem. Look at our two black and white kitties. I love black and white kitties.
I used to, when their whiskers fall out, I would just like stick it back in at a random spot.
Trillian's causing trouble. Trillian's biting.
Whisker trivia before we sign off. Whiskers are just like any other hair on a cat's body. And they fall out occasionally, they grow back.
But they're more important.
Yeah, they use them for sensory input, but...
But I think they can have pain. Well...
I used to have a whisker jar. I had a baby food jar that I bought. And I just kept putting whiskers in there. And eventually I had more whiskers than any of my cats could ever produce. You know, if you were to take all the whiskers, and I think they have 12 on each side too. I think 3 rows of 4.
So do they have cats from all the color groups? I think we do. We don't have an orange tabby, so we should probably get a 10th cat for sure. We have 2 tabbies, but no 2 brown tabbies.
We have 2 cow kitties.
Well, Libby's a tuxedo. She's not a cow kitty. Look how gorgeous she is. Do you see her her
And muzzle
whiskers?
puffs.
Your mommy's girly, huh?
And for tabby cats, their whiskers will actually change colors. They'll turn light and then dark.
Well, we have
and vice versa.
2 torties. Too many torties, but we love them.
Yeah.
And we have a snowshoe. We have all white and all gray.
Penny's falling asleep.
It's okay. She was looking at your tablet. She wanted to do something on your tablet.
We can track him by his claws tapping. He gets trimmed.
You had, Poppycat, you had a whisker embedded into your skin? Wow. I don't like when in the morning when they go up my nose. That I do not like.
That is extremely annoying.
It's
My
terrible.
mom got stabbed by
What are you doing?
one of her own hairs off of her head through her finger, and it's like I had to pull it out. I was like extremely weird. Never seen anything like
Your
that.
mom?
Yeah.
What did she do?
One of her hairs actually impaled her finger underneath the fingernail. I had to pull it out.
Trillian is self-playing if you haven't seen it.
I can see her. Socks was my last orange kitty. He was a buff, and he was extremely ornery. He was I refer to him as the orange butthead. But he was also very smart. Yeah, it's like when he was young, I would, before I moved up here, I was still living in Tennessee, and my computer chair had like a little gap on each side. And sometimes I'm like leaning back and the shirt will ride up a little bit, exposing skin. He would take his paw, dip it in the water bowl, and then touch the skin there just so I can go, ah, and jump. True story.
I'm sure it was a coincidence. I don't think
He kept repeating it. It wasn't a one-time deal. He probably wasn't doing
butthead like our last previous president.
Yeah, I'm sure he wasn't doing it maliciously. He probably thought it was like funny to see the reaction, but yeah.
Ooh, we've got a playful Trillian in here. Do you see that?
Yep.
Do you see what she's doing? I'm talking to Libby.
She's playing with one of the brown ratties. Fortunately, you can't quite see her. Now she's got a red puffball. Now she's going for the blue puffball. Let me go ahead and turn it towards her before we end the stream. And the key is in the tube.
Oh, is she?
Yep. So here's the
1,
key.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On average, we have 6 cats in here. Look at Penny. Oh my God, she's amazing. So we're lucky we're selected to try out a new cat ball bed, and it should be here soon. So we're excited to be prototype testers.
Go on, Trillian. Resume. She's like, I got fluff in my mouth. Play. Play. Go on. You can do it. I'm not going to do it because you want me to. Yeah, she got some fluff in her mouth and she did not like that.
She's a very strange cat.
She puts the strange in the strange cat.
Aw, Harley, waiting for taking nappies.
And Harley's chilling over there.
With Penny. They like to be where we are. Does the room have a maximum cat occupancy number? I would say 9.
Yeah. Fortunately, they don't tend to come in here all at the same time.
They only come in when we do.
Well, Penny likes to come in here. Occasionally, I'm feeding breakfast. I find her bogarting the heater vent there.
Well, and Ruthie will come in here to hang out on that tree, and we know Libby does come through here. It's just that they don't hang out in here like they're doing now unless we're here. Oh, Ruthie.
All right, guys.
It must be posted on the door. What do you think? What do you think? Are you going to get down?
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for making our day. We really appreciate it. The kitties appreciate it too. We hope you guys have a good week.
Okay, it may take a second for the stream to actually end, and the chat will keep going
Look
for
how
a little
cute
bit.
she is.
But
Oh my
there it
God,
is.
she's so cute.
Enjoy this crazy number of kitties. Have a nice day.
Look at Penny.
And it's over.
You could